Alright, Papa Pepper here with my second video. Just sharing some of my advice for newer users. I didn't even realize till about in the past 24 hours, if you actually pulled up on steamwhales.com and you looked at the trending authors for the past 7 days, you're going to find Papa Pepper is actually at the top of that list. Sometimes I don't really pay attention to all the data, don't really realize how good I'm doing compared to everything else going on in the community and stuff. So in a situation like that, that's part of why I pointed out at the end of my last post, I have a certain point of view, I have a certain perspective. I don't exactly have the same point of view and perspective as a newcomer. Therefore, I can provide certain experience and advice that a newcomer may not have. However, since I don't really know their current point of view or where they're coming from, I may not exactly be able to answer or even think of the questions that they really have or what to be able to help what they're really dealing with. So that's part of why I said, look, if you guys have questions you want answers to, you'd at least like my opinion on. I have nothing definitive or surefire to offer, but I can give you whatever I can come up with and provide some of my own insight into it. So that's part of the reason why if you guys got things you're dealing with, stuff you want to know, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer them in a timely fashion. Again, as I said last time, I started out from nothing, no real experience or anything, and all of a sudden I'm kind of in the forefront of this Steemit community. One thing that I definitely spent a lot of time doing is content creation, and I try to get out there and get involved too, but also I'm working very hard. Some days I work, I wake up at 3:30 in the morning and don't go to bed till like midnight or 1 in the morning, stuff like that. With my job, when I'm home, I'm working a lot trying to get some land ready, put in a driveway, get a spot ready to build a house. I have to put in a culvert soon and some other things. Taking care of some animals. We almost have our 5th child now. And then of course I have, my wife and my children that have a certain requirement of my time and effort as well. So I kind of try to do this in my so-called free time. So that said, I don't really always have a lot of time to go check out everyone's posts, read everyone's, thoughts on things. I don't often go to the trending page on Steemit. I kind of make my content, answer questions, and reply to people who hit mine up. And then since I don't really go out and upvote as much as some people do, that's part of the reason I try to do so many contests, give away Steam when I can, that type of stuff. So if you are a newer user, and if you're trying to really carve out your niche, enter into the community of Steemit, which is, pre-existing at this point. The community's there, it's functioning, it's doing good, and all of a sudden you jump in. So now you have things that you're bringing to the table. You have expectations, you'd at least like people to check out your posts, you'd at least like them to comment, hopefully you'll get some upvotes, hopefully you can start building a following, establishing some relationships, eventually getting a payout as you move forward as well. So one thing that you're going to want to do is focus on the content. I talked more about comments last time and interacting, and that's key, that's crucial. That's why you'll see me rapidly approaching 17,000 comments and posts on Steemit. But your own content is what's going to drive a lot of the people to you. It's either going to drive them to you or drive them away. One thing that I must stress is never sacrifice quality for quantity. Anyone can pump out an extremely large amount of subpar stuff, in a rapid amount of time. Anyone can create a whole pile of garbage very quickly. But to be able to produce, a certain professional, high quality content that's got original stuff in it takes a little more. And I would rather, handcraft a beautiful post I can be proud of and say, hey, here it is. This is good, this is solid. And have it get completely missed. Then, pump out 5 posts that are very poor quality, just rapidly thrown together, not doing so good, and have one of those get a huge payout. Because when people go back and look, if they can see that consistency of quality and effort, that's going to speak. You're really representing yourself, your username, who you are. As well as in a way representing the Steemit community as well, once you join in. So as you're creating your content, I'm not all that techy, I don't know all that much stuff. I don't know really where to go get images from online, so often what you see is a lot of things I make in MS Paint and a lot of photos I take myself. I pretty much almost exclusively just original photos on my end. If I have a photo I want to do about a certain animal, I go out and find that animal, photograph it, often take a selfie to kind of prove it, and then go from there. Or if I've got a certain plant I want to do a post on, I go out and find the plant. I try to get as many good photographs as I can, and I'm even working on some projects now where I kind of took some in the spring and then the flowering section, and we'll get them in the fruiting section, as they head through those seasons, and then be able to put out a post where you can see all the seasons with all original photographs as well. So you know what you're up to, you know your life, you know your hobbies, you know your talents, your skills, your strengths, your weaknesses. You have a general idea of what a certain amount of professionalism looks like. As I mentioned last time, have an image, at least one, from somewhere. If it's an image linked from somewhere else, put the source underneath it so that people know you're not claiming it to be your own work. And then as well, have the paragraph breaks in there. Make something that looks professional. Use a little bit of markdown like hashtag, space, and then type your word, hit enter, and it'll show up bigger than the rest of the text. Give those little headers as you head down on the different sections. Another thing you may want to consider is, as you move forward with kind of crafting what you are, who you are, and what you're up to, is take your blog post page, take that little avatar, get an avatar, something that represents yourself. Some people have pictures of themselves, some people have some sort of logo, some people just have something else. Mine's a pepper with googly eyes on it, But people see that and they say, Papa Pepper. Also, on that front page, tell us a little something about yourself. Who you are, what the account is, whatever it is. You can keep the location anonymous, you don't have to. Mine says Arkansas, USA, I think. And then as we moved forward too, one thing that I made sure to do was to have a footer. Just kind of a signature that I can put at the end of every post. So that way when people see my post, there's a certain closer there that's consistent throughout my post. And I've changed it over time, but to have a little signature, a little closer, is also a good idea. As I said, without sacrificing quality for quantity, one thing is, as a new person, if you're putting out a post a week and you're not commenting much, again, you're going to get buried in the sea of Steemit. I mean, it's just the way it is that people aren't going to find your posts. A lot of people that are there, say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and they take the weekend off, and you're posting on Saturday, they'll never see that one post a week. Now, you do have 7-day payout windows and things that make it a little easier to find stuff, but pretty much, while I say don't sacrifice quality for quantity, you should have a certain amount of quantity if you're really trying to build a following, build a brand on there, promote your username, progress to the point where you can get a consistent payout on things. When I first started Steemit, there was a 4-post daily limit. I don't think they have that anymore. I think it's kind of open-ended now. There's no penalization after doing 4 posts within a 24-hour period. But what I did for the first bunch of months was 4 posts a day, every day. Sometimes it was 3, but pretty much without fail. Every day I was putting in multiple posts. They were on a variety of subjects, like I said. You can head back all the way to last July and just see, there's a ton of posts there, a ton of content. And for the most part, I'd like to think, except for the learning curve starting off, that things got pretty good. Things got pretty professional. There was a certain amount of just consistency with high quality that you could see through it. I don't know if you're capable of doing a post a day. I don't know if you're capable of doing 2 or 3 or more high quality posts a day. Personally, I've kind of gotten the hang of certain things. I've got a pile of posts kind of backing up. I don't know if I've got 6 or 7 edible outdoors posts ready to go, working on the next chapter for Love Like His. I've got tons of gardening posts and other posts and some animal posts that are, especially my Close to the Creatures with Papa, they're piling up. They're not being published. They're there. They're waiting. And, as I have time, I'll put them out. But also I'm trying to kind of hold back. I don't really want to throw 4 posts out every day. I think I'm getting a good amount of payouts on a regular basis, but also it's kind of hard for me to throw cut back. Sometimes life happens so quickly, and there's so much I desire to share and do with all of you guys that it's kind of hard for me not to post at least multiple times a day. But whatever you are capable of, within reason, I would recommend. Now, another thing to factor in is if you're going to try to reply to all your comments, you may want to make sure that you're only putting out enough posts as people comment more frequently. That still leaves you time to answer all your comments. You may want to make sure that in your content creation you're leaving enough time to still go check out other posts, to still go check out some of your favorite people. I really like Mr. Boom, Gringalicious, Dave KS, Verbal D. There's people out there who I like Kusni to check out on a regular basis. And if I don't make sure to leave time for that, I'm missing a lot of what's going on in their life, a lot of what they're up to, and a lot of supporting them. So that's another thing to take into consideration. So I kind of shared more about the introduction post, about commenting last time. This time I just want to stress quality and really a certain level of professionalism. And, to have a good quantity as you are able to, but not to compromise the quality. You'll also see a lot of people sometimes, they'll present other people's work as their own, whether it's plagiarizing photos or whether it's taking something from some other site and throwing it on and putting it out as a Steemit post because they're like, hey, this is really good, this is really nice, I could get paid for this. I've seen entire articles before that are from elsewhere on the web already that have, a site that has nothing to do with the user on Steemit who was presenting it. It wasn't just somebody who created content somewhere else that was also posting on Steemit. It was something completely unrelated. If you're going to share something from another source, cite the source. There are bots running that check just for plagiarism and stuff like that. The Cheetah bot is very good. And you don't want to get to the point where you're a known plagiarizer. You don't want to get to the point where people think, oh, well, this person just presents other things as their own and stuff like that. Eventually it'll affect your reputation and it's not going to be good. So if there's other images on the web that you can use, good. Cite the source. If there's other information on the web or news sites or other things that you find that you want to share on Steemit, cite the source, and then also don't just give us what you took from them. Add some of your own thoughts. Start off with, hey, I was reading recently and I came across something really interesting. Here it is. Put it there, and then share some of your thoughts on it and why you wanted to share it on Steemit. At least something like that. Rather than just grabbing something from elsewhere and presenting it as your own. You guys have lives, you guys have other things. I'm going to try to keep these videos, 10 minutes or so. I don't know where this one's at, but 13. I'm going to try to keep them relatively short, under 15 minutes anyway. And just present some stuff that's solid for you guys, some good food for thought, things to consider as you progress. Don't know if they'll be on a daily basis, but I'll sort through things, continue thinking of things, and sharing them as I'm able. I certainly appreciate Susie's Corner for asking me to share some of these thoughts and to give advice to new people through this format. And as I said, you guys have a lot of stuff going on in your life. Now there's Steemit too. You're going to have to balance, your regular job, your time on Steemit, your family life. It's up to you to figure out the balance of that stuff, but I'm going to use my hand here as an illustration. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm pretty much getting blisters in between my calluses and hard work in the end is what's going to pay off. Whether it's just the fact saying, you know what, I learned some things, I did some good jobs, and maybe it wasn't as appreciated as much as I would like it to have been, but I created some quality content, had some fun, met some people, and I've got some stuff to show for it. Or perhaps you get to the point where you do get some good payouts too, and you can say, wow, this is amazing. I'm actually getting paid to share my life and do some things that I really like to do. Either way, the hard work is going to be its own reward, and you're going to be able to look back on the blockchain and see your journey, see what was up. So Papa out. Good to see you guys once again, and I'll keep them coming as I'm able. Steam on.